Another new and massive sale dropped on the Switch eShop, and this one it has over 2,000 games discounted right now, so it appears we are continuing the summer sale theme. Now today I've got 15 games for you all covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and they all come in under $10 or your regional equivalents. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, and if you do enjoy the video, consider subscribing, it helps out the channel a huge amount. I also then have a winner to announce later in the video for a $10 eShop gift card, and I do have a one more to give away to enter. Drop a comment down below and that winner, they'll be announced in next Thursday's video. Blossom Tales 2 The Minotaur Prince to kick us off. This one it's a top-down Asauda-like experience and a gem at that. Now here we play as a young girl who listens to a tale told by her grandfather, and we place ourselves in the story alongside our brother. Now problems occur early on, and now we're on a mission to save our brother who gets kidnapped by the title of Minotaur Prince. Expect here exploration, combat, weapons abilities, environmental puzzles, even some side quests through a variety of dungeons. I'm a big fan of the game, it's 35% off, matching the low price, and you can see my full review in the pinned comments. Blasphemous then is a personal favourite, I cannot wait for the upcoming sequel, and now this original, it's back on sale here, matching the low with 75% off. It is best described as an incredibly difficult Metroidvania, and you'll be taking a journey through a dark and twisted world as the penitent one who is essentially a lone warrior. Now along the way there are a ton of nightmarish creatures to take down as you set out to break a curse of death and rebirth and restore order to this world. The pixel art's beautiful, they nailed the theme, the soundtrack is stunning, and my only real complaint occasionally, I didn't think the controls for platforming were quite on your side. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen returns with a massive 83% off, matching the low price. We've only seen that once before, and it's a re-release of an action RPG that offers a blend of combat and open world exploration. Now this re-release, it was well deserved, it's a bit of a classic in my opinion, and you'll be traversing a fantasy world battling dragons and other mythical creatures. You even have a party of 3 AI companions, and they will adapt to your playstyle. It almost looks like a Souls game, but not quite as difficult. It's packed then with quests to take on, it still looks fantastic, and it includes all DLC and even a few new additions. Thankfully as well, it runs great on the Switch too. Marsupilami Hoobadventure is not a perfect game, but at 67% off, a new low price, it's a whole lot easier to be forgiving of its issues. Now for platformer fans, I did have fun with this game and I do think it is worth your time. It pulls a lot of influence from Donkey Kong, but nowhere near as difficult. It's not short on creativity as well, with some fun timed challenge rooms, especially some silhouette moments that I really appreciated. Then the game, it's based on an animation that I've never seen. It appears it was popular in Europe. The main issue, however, is it struggles with the frame rate just occasionally, and you will see that in my full review. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is another re-release and needs a little introduction. It's a racing game that throws you into an open world, and it comes from the team behind Burnout, meaning just epic crash animations. It is one of the better arcade races on the system in my opinion, as you do get behind the wheel of these incredibly fast cars and then take on a slew of challenges. It also features cross-play multiplayer, though I haven't checked to see how busy it is now in a good while, so if you have played it, let us know in the comments. It's 80% off then, matching the low price, and my full review again, it's in the pinned comment down below. Children of Zodiarcs is a hidden gem, it's back here with 70% off, a price we've only seen once before, and it's a story-driven tactical RPG set in a divided world. Now you'll command a group of outcasts navigating the corrupt of this world as well as the dangerous underworld. Now combat is my favourite element of the game, it's a system based on cards and dice with each character's abilities directly tying into them. So think here, the cards are the ability while the dice they determine the outcome. We can then customize our team, learn about their individual struggles, and we'll be following them on an adventure as they're on the run after trying to steal an ancient relic. It's full of unique ideas this one, so make sure you watch a full review first and make sure it is a game for you. Onimusha Warlords then is a classic, a samurai horror, I guess, adventure that was originally intended to be a Resident Evil entry. Now much like that game, controls are somewhat old school, although they do add in some modern adaptations here, and you're going to be battling against more than a few enemies with your samurai sword in hand. The story, it's a rescue mission, but we uncover demonic creatures and supernatural horror along the way. The game's a blast. I picked this release up at day one, and this version improved the controls, they revised the soundtrack, they enhanced the visuals very slightly, think resolution, and they also optimized it for widescreen play. My full review is in the pinned comment, and here it's 60% off, matching the low price. I just wanted to quickly highlight then Square Enix, they do have a fair few games on sale right now, and I won't be going into great detail with these because they are classics, but both Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, they're back matching the low price with 50% off. Now I don't think you can go wrong with either game. 7 was my first ever experience with the series, back in the day, and then 8, I loved that one too, picked it up immediately on day one. These are just top of mind right now as well, because I'm about to jump into Final Fantasy 16 on the PS5, which I'm definitely psyched for, really enjoyed the demo. Now I'm curious to see if it's as good as reports suggest. Neon Abyss gets a new low price for those in the UK, EU and Australia. It is 70% off, and this, it's a run and gun roguelike that puts you in control of the Grim Squad on a mission to enter the Abyss and hunt down these different powerful guardians. Now this game's highlight has to be item synergies that introduce new effects, and these can aid you on this mission. It also features a ton of creative weapons and even pets that can accompany you, and they will fight alongside you. Sadly, the creativity doesn't really make it into the level design, and I did end up feeling by the end game that it was maybe just a little repetitive in the visual department. Paradise Killer matches the low price with 60% off. It's an absolute gem of a game that I'll always recommend. It's a first-person adventure where you take on the role of a detective in a surreal vaporwave world, and you'll be tasked with finding out who murdered the council of this location. Now, if you want eccentric, come here. If you want a killer soundtrack, come here. And if you want a good story, same thing, just come here. The idea with the story is every millennia or so, your world comes under invasion from demons, and this council, they relocate you. The problem this time is, on the eve of the move, they have been murdered. You get only one chance to identify the killer, so be smart about it, and you can find my full review in the pinned comments. Ghana 2 is a roguelike that's for sure worth a look, but I will say, in my opinion, this is one of the harder ones out there. That's not only in combat either, which can be brutal of course, but also in navigation. It is less linear than most games out there. That said though, a lot of positives with this one. It's procedurally generated, so tons of replayability. I love the fact some enemies unleash bullet hell attacks at times, and then there's some nice customization too. Think weapons and even heads that you can switch in and out, and these will add different perks. It even supports 2-player local co-op, and then this Lose Your Head bundle, it packs in the first game as well, so it's a great deal with a new low price of 80% off, and should you already have that first entry, you can pick up the second entry on its own for a little less. My last mention for the game then, the stylized visuals, love them, the vivid colours really help with the stress. Our winner of the week then, it's going to Midwest Style, who tried Everspace, but they weren't really feeling the roguelike elements or controls. Now I was a fan personally, but I get that the genre has been overused now for the last few years. Congrats anyways, Midwest, drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Monster Sanctuary then gets a new low price. Now we've seen it in the US and Canada before, but here it's 70% off for those in the UK, EU and Australia. Now I'm a big fan of this game personally, as it's a unique genre combination. Think Metroidvania meets Pokemon, where you'll explore, you'll tackle turn-based strategic battles, and then you'll use these monsters to overcome environmental obstacles. All in, there's 111 monsters to uncover. The combat definitely leans into that strategy quite a bit, and then it recently introduced some new modes for replayability. That was thanks to an update, and think here, randomizer and permadeath mode. You can even take the battles online for PvP if you have a friend who picks up the game as well. The Company Man then is our final game of the video. It's 70% off, a new low price. Now I reviewed this platformer on the channel, really enjoyed it, but the price, it was admittedly a little high. Well, now I think this is a bargain. You'll get 3 or so hours of gameplay out of it, but expect here a side-scrolling platformer set in a work environment where you start a new job, instantly get demoted, now you are out for the CEO. If you've ever worked in an office like me, it's easy to find the humour in this world as we tackle environments such as IT or HR, which is an ice world, and we'll save our game at the local coffee machine. I hope this one gets a follow-up because the world was fantastic and the controls, they support the action perfectly. And that's the video down. Will you be adding any budget deals to the library this week? Or let me know in the comments. With that, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone.